Hey guys, Fix It here. Today my dryer stopped drying. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this dryer out, take off your exhaust, unplug it from the wall. We'll do some testing. Let me show you how we do this. This is a Kenmore 70 series. So what I did is I put this on its face, and you got to take off the bolts. There's 6. Pretty self-explanatory, so take those off and you'll access all the stuff in the back. Next, you're going to take this off. You take the top off first, and there's a little hook here that keeps it all in. Addition, I didn't see these two here. There's actually 3 bolts at the top here. And obviously it's needless to say, but you want to make sure this thing is unplugged from the wall. You don't want this thing putting volts into you. So don't be an idiot. So take this off like this. And this thing is sharp, so sheet metal cuts you up. Already got me. That's how fast it is. Sheet metal is sharp. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this all up with a vacuum first, and then I'm going to test the parts. You know, the elements in here. There's a thermostat right here. I think the fuse is here. So we're going to start testing stuff, and as we do it, I'll explain what I'm doing so you can find out where the issue is. I'm guessing it's in my my element. That's usually the cause of that. Sometimes, if you have the older dryers like this, they'll actually overheat because the exhaust is clogged up in the exit port, and so that will make the fuse pop. So there's a couple fuses here. Let's just start testing stuff with our voltmeter. Should be pretty simple. Okay, so the first thing I want to test is the element. This is the element right here, and what you need to do is take it out of the system. And the best way to do that is just take all the pieces off and then just remove it, and we'll test it just free and clear. I've got thermostats here, and so we're going to remove all the wiring. You're going to take off the thermostat. This is a little thing that you pry out of this little hole here, and then you also take it off this lead. You'll need a screwdriver to pry that off. Once it comes off, and that's 0. So your element's good. There's continuity throughout this element. And you also want to visually inspect it as well. Go through all and see if there's any breaks or where it's hitting the frame. So another test you can do is on one leg. Do that, and then test the frame as well. So that's open. Your element's good. The next one is the thermostat that came off of it. So that should have some resistance as well. Yep. So that thermostat's good as well. The other one is over here. You got a fuse. I think it's called a block fuse. So if things overheat, this will burn out and save your house from catching on fire. This is another thermostat, so I'm going to disassemble this after I get this back together and test these two as well. I'll show you that. This is your, I think it's called a block fuse or something. That fuse is good, so it has continuity. Moving on to this thermostat. Make sure you remember where your wires go, so I have it free and clear from so I can look at it too. Continuity here. Man, all good. And put it back together. Hey guys, so as I was going through this, I pulled out this thermostat here. It's the last resort thermostat. The way I understand it is when this won't turn off or it gets overheated, this pops, and it's a thermostat, but it won't reset itself. So when that goes, it goes. So that was the problem. However, this tells you what else is going on in the whole unit. So on the exhaust, right here. It goes, that's where your, you know, that filter that goes in, you pull out the dust bunnies and throw them away. Well, that tries to get the bulk of it, but over time with, you know, fabric softener and all that kind of stuff, it makes it sticky. And so in this tube, this exhaust tube, all that stuff gets stuck in there. And so over this dishwasher or this dryer is, hell, 25 years old. I don't know how old. It's old. We've had it a long time. And so it goes down through here. The heater vent comes out here from your the bowl or whatever you call it, the bucket, and it exhausts out of here and goes through that little screen that you guys push into the dryer, and it goes out here and then out the exhaust out the wall. So what I did is I unscrewed, there's a couple screws here they took off, and this makes it so this can come off. Well, there was an exhaust fan right here, so I cleaned that first. It was really bad. I stuck my shop vac on this, on the exit, to suck out everything I got, and I closed up the unit and just started banging on this pretty rigorously. I wasn't, you know, about like this. And what that did is it knocked off a bunch of stuff, and it got caught in the exhaust fan. A lot of stuff came out here, but as I went through it, cleaned the filter, cleaned here, shoved the shop back up in the filter area. That broke a bunch of stuff off. So this was basically clogged up. I think that was making it overheat. So if this was clogged up, I'm guessing my exhaust is also clogged up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shop back on that, push pull, maybe stick a pole down there. If you got a straight run, try to make sure your exhaust is letting the hot air go out. Because if it's not, it's going to build up, and that's what's going to pop this. That's just my, you know, blue collar idea. I don't know if it's true, and if there's any maintenance guys out there that do this for a living, please chime in and let people know. The only reason we do these videos is just to help people out fix stuff they got. So I'm gonna go get that part, and we're gonna close this box up after we clean up all the exhaust stuff. Cleaned up the exhaust, and I put the shop vac on that, and also blew it out. That's flowing free, so that wasn't the problem. I believe that was the problem that made that thermostat break. We got to replace it. Right back. Okay, here are the parts we got. So I went and got this. Came to about 40 bucks. This is the culprit that actually was the failure that I showed you earlier. So here's the packet. You have to actually buy two of the bottom and the top thermostats, or whatever you call them. So got this package. Show you what I got. Just you have to kind of reroute it. I think it's just, I'm going to use my old wires. Looks like that'll fit right in there for that one, and this one will fit right in there for the other one. So outstanding. Let's get this thing installed. Okay, so let's do the first one. The easy one is the top one. So let's just do that. It goes in just like it came out. Detach them. It's really that simple. Now let's move on to this one. This is going to be a little bit more complicated because they give you some extra parts to put together. Not a big deal though. Let's do that next. Okay, this is the bottom one on the heat coil. So see how right here there's like a bridge that goes to the other one. What they want you to do is there's a little two-prong thing that goes on here, then you can lasso that on there so it just connects the circuit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put this new thermostat on there, and this is the little thing they were talking about that needs to combine. So this wire can be hooked onto here and then piggyback onto this bracket right here, clip off that and make that your holder. So bam, and then we're going to reuse this wire and reuse this wire. Let's do it. is a jumper. That open. And the tab up. That's the old one. Here's the new one. Pin that so it's out of the way. Don't want anything to short out. So then you take piggyback. That one goes down here. This guy goes here. This guy goes here. And here. We got it. Let's clean up and plug this thing in. Make sure all our hoses are connected. The exhaust hose. Make sure there's no shorts. Just double check. Make sure all your screws are out of there, that you're clean, and we're ready to roll. Let's hook it back up. All right, so now let's get the back on. Again, be careful. This is sharp. Put the bottom part in first. Little lip there. Make sure you don't pinch your power cable or cut it. Get your holes lined up and replace your screws. Okay, so we got it all put back together, hoses connected. Gotta admit, I tested already. When I turned it on, a lot of the debris that was left over that I couldn't find or that was in the exhaust went out the back, like little rocks and stuff. So I think it's real important to actually clean your vent. That will help you avoid having to do this repair. But if you're watching this video, you're probably doing this repair. So let's test it. Plug it in. I can hear it with the electronic sound. Put it on high. It turns on. It runs. Give it time for those things to heat up because I put it on high. It's hot in there. Fixed it. I know you can too.